Welcome back to my channel. Have you ever asked yourself, how could a woman say she loves me and still sleep with someone else? It sounds insane, right? It almost feels like betrayal and love shouldn't be able to live in the same sentence. But here's the uncomfortable truth most men don't want to face: love and loyalty are not the same thing. You see, a woman can still love you and yet betray the relationship in ways that leave you shattered. And it's not because you forgot to take out the trash or missed her birthday. Although, let us be real, that doesn't help either. It's something much deeper, much quieter, and much more dangerous. In this video, we're going to pull back the emotional curtain and dive into the hidden psychology behind why women cheat even when they're still in love. This isn't about blaming, shaming, or fueling fear. It's about understanding what most men overlook until it's too late. Because the silent signs: sometimes it's not the loud fights that break a relationship. It's the silent signs you missed. The subtle shift in her energy. The way she stopped asking you to talk. That moment, she smiled, but her eyes were somewhere else. If you've ever felt blindsided by a breakup or betrayal, this video is going to hit different. Stick with me because missing just one emotional signal could cost you everything. Let's talk about what really happens behind closed hearts. Part 1: Emotional disconnection. You know what's truly dangerous in a relationship? Not the fights, not the silence after an argument, but when everything seems fine and deep down she's already drifting away. Most men think women cheat because they've stopped loving. But more often, it's because they've stopped feeling connected. She still loves you, but she no longer feels you. You're in the same room, but emotionally she's alone. Maybe you're working long hours trying to provide. Maybe you're stressed, distracted, numb. She understands she's not asking for the world. But she is asking to feel seen, heard, felt. And here's the scary part: sometimes all it takes is one deep conversation with someone else. Someone who listens without judgment, who notices her mood, who asks her how she's really doing, for her heart to remember what connection feels like. And that one crack, that small opening, that's how emotional affairs begin. And let me tell you, emotional cheating, it cuts deeper than physical. Because once her heart has left, her body might still be there, but the bond is gone. So ask yourself: emotional revenge. When was the last time you truly looked her in the eyes and saw her, not her role as a mom? Not her as your partner, but her, the woman, the soul. Don't wait until someone else sees what you've stopped noticing. Let's keep going. Part 2: Emotional revenge. Let's talk about something most people never see coming: emotional revenge. You see, a woman doesn't have to hate you to betray the relationship. She might still love you, cook for you, laugh at your jokes, but deep inside, she's carrying wounds you never bothered to notice. Maybe you brushed off her feelings. Maybe you made a joke at her expense in front of friends. Or maybe you just kept being too busy the one time she really needed you and she told you it was fine. She smiled, moved on, didn't make a scene. But here's the truth. Emotional pain doesn't disappear. It stores. And onady, she meets someone. Someone who listens without interrupting, who makes her feel visible again, who gives her a hug, not just with arms, but with presence, and in that moment, she may cross a line. Not because she's planning to cheat, but because something inside her says, finally, someone sees me. This isn't lust. It's not even desire. It's a subconscious cry for justice. Emotional justice. Not revenge with anger, but a quiet, devastating form of it. She didn't want to hurt you. She just wanted the pain to mean something. And sometimes validation from the wrong person feels like healing. Until it breaks everything. So ask yourself, what wounds have you left unspoken in her heart? Let's keep going because the next emotional starvation reason is even more unexpected. Part 3: Emotional starvation. Let's get real about something most men overlook: emotional starvation. You might think you're doing everything right. You work hard. You're faithful, you come home every night. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Presence isn't connection. And love isn't nourishment. A woman can still love you and feel emotionally starving. Not because you're absent, but because you're not emotionally present. She doesn't crave a new body. She craves new feelings. Being noticed, being heard, feeling alive again. And emotional starvation is sneaky. It doesn't scream, it whispers, whispers that build up over time. Like when the coworker listens, really listens, without checking his phone. Or emotional oxygen when a stranger says, "You changed your hair? It looks great." Or when someone asks how she's really doing, and actually waits for the answer. That's not about flirting. That's about being fed. Fed with attention, validation, emotional oxygen. Because love isn't just about being there. It's about making her feel seen. Not just as a partner or mom, but as a woman full of depth, complexity, and fire. And if starving for too long, she won't scream. She'll slowly detach. And then one day someone else becomes the meal she was starving for. So ask yourself, are you feeding her heart or just sharing space? Let's keep going. It gets even deeper. From here. Part 4. Repressed desires. The silent time bomb. Sometimes a woman doesn't cheat to leave repressed desires you. She cheats to find herself again. Let me explain. In a world that often tells women to be quiet, composed, selfless, many learn to suppress their deepest desires, their sensuality, their fire, their emotional complexity, not because they want to, but because they think that's what a good woman does. She tones it down, plays the part, swallows her needs in the name of love, loyalty, or survival. But here's the truth most people ignore. What's buried isn't dead. It's just waiting. And over time, that buried part begins to stir. She starts to remember the woman she used to be. The one who laughed too loud, danced without shame, spoke her truth without fear. And one day, that part refuses to stay silent. Not to destroy the relationship, but to reclaim resurrection self she lost inside it. This isn't betrayal. This is resurrection. It's like holding your breath for years and suddenly gasping for air. So when she meets someone who sees her, awakens her, who reminds her she's more than just a role she's been playing, something cracks open. Not because she stopped loving you, but because she forgot how to love herself. So, the question isn't why did she cheat, it's what part of her did she have to bury tobe with you. Let's go deeper because the next reason might surprise you even more. Part 5, Fantasy Escape Syndrome. Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever looked around at your life and thought, is this it? That question, quiet but powerful, is the same one that creeps into the heart of a woman who's been stuck in routine for too long. It's not that she wants to cheat. It's that she wants to escape. Escape not from you, but from a version of herself that feels trapped. Trapped in motherhood, in responsibility, in predictability. Love didn't die. It just got buried under dishes, deadlines, and the same dinner conversations night after night. And one day, she meets someone. Not necessarily better, but different. He's exciting, unpredictable, maybe even a little dangerous. But what the really represents is possibility. The possibility of being seen as desirable again, of feeling wild, free, wanted like she used to before life became a checklist. This is what we call fantasy escape syndrome. And it's more common than you think. She's not running from you. She's running toward a feeling she thought she lost forever. And if her oxygen reality feels suffocating, even a brief taste of that fantasy can feel like oxygen. So the real question is, has life with you become something she's desperate to escape or something she can breathe in again? Let's keep going because the next reason goes even deeper. Part 6, Curiosity and Validation. Sometimes it's not about pain. It's not about neglect. It's about curiosity. You see, some women don't cheat because of theory broken. They cheat because of theory wondering, do I still have it? Am I still desirable, attractive, magnetic? And in a world that constantly tells women their value fades with age, that youth equals beauty and beauty equals worth, that curiosity becomes louder with every year that vanity passes. This isn't vanity. It's a quiet ache to feel wanted again. Not just loved, but longed for. Because love says you matter, but desire says you still excite. And here's the thing. In today's world, validation is always one tap away. A stranger's compliment, a flirty DM on Instagram, a like that feels more like a lifeline. It's not that she wants to leave you. It's that she wants to prove to herself that she's still alive in someone's eyes. And sometimes that tiny ego boost, that digital spark turns into a flame. Not because she's looking for love elsewhere, but because she stopped seeing reflection of her value in your eyes. So ask yourself, when was the last time you made her feel chosen? Like she was still the woman you'd chase all over again. Let's go one loneliness layer deeper. Because what happens next isn't about desire. It's about survival. Part 7, the loneliness inside stable relationships. Let's talk about a kind of loneliness Noon warns you about. The kind that exists inside a relationship that looks perfect from the outside. You've got the house. You've got the schedule, the responsibilities, the routines down to patience. There's no chaos. No fights. Everything's fine. But that's the problem. Because sometimes fine is where love goes to die quietly. She doesn't feel unsafe. She doesn't feel unloved, she just doesn't feel alive anymore. She's not craving drama. She's craving a pulse. The feeling of shared laughter, meaningful silence, spontaneous connection. The heartbeat of a drifting away relationship that still feels like something. And over time, when that spark is gone, she's not walking away from you. She's slowly drifting away from herself. That's the most dangerous kind of affair. Not the one sparked by anger, but the one born out of emptiness. The kind of emptiness where a woman looks around and says, I have everything, but I no longer have me. It's not that she wants more. She just wants to feel like herself again. The version of her that smiled without trying, that danced in the kitchen. That felt seen, not just supported. So, here's the question for every man watching. Is your relationship secure or is it silently suffocating? Let's wrap this up because what comes next is the most powerful truth of all. So, what do you do with all of this? How do you protect a relationship without turning protecting a relationship into someone who monitors, questions, or tries to control? The answer is simple but not easy. You stop trying to control her and start learning how to connect with her. See her not just as your partner, but as a whole human being, a woman with feelings that don't always make sense. Contradictions that shift and a depth that can't be measured in checklists. Be present. Not just physically, but emotionally, not just during the big moments, but in the quiet, ordinary ones. Because the way you look at her when she walks in the room tells her more than 1,000 words ever could reflect her value back to her. Make her feel chosen again and again. Keep things fresh. Keep talking, respect her mind. Protect her heart, give her the safety to feel and the space to be. Because most women don't cheat because they've stopped loving you. They cheat because they stop seeing themselves in your eyes. And when a woman feels truly seen, known, and emotionally safe, she won't go looking elsewhere. She won't need to. So, don't just love her. Learn her, see her, show up for her. If this message hit home, don't just let it fade. Act on it. Grow from it. And if you're ready to go deeper into love, connection, and emotional mastery, subscribe now. We're just getting started.